Winter is just kind of a special time of year where I want to read all the things. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is April if you've never been here before. And today I want to go over my winter book recommendations. Now, during winter, I kind of want to read a little bit of everything from rom-coms to fantasy romance to even thrillers. Like thrillers for some reason really get me in the winter time. But I have very specific thriller tastes. So let's just get into these recommendations because I have about 20 of them to show you. So let's start off with those winter thrillers. I have 3 of them that I'm highly interested in or I have read before. The first one being Near the Bone by Christina Henry. You will notice that all of these kind of have a theme. My winter thrillers involve isolated cabins or Antarctica. Those type of things. Really snowy, wintry, icy, cold, but also completely alone. Near the Bone is one of these books. It is set in the mountains, in a snowy mountainside. You have a girl who was abducted as a very young child, and she was groomed to be the wife of the person that abducted her. He's an absolute monster, but there's more than one monster on this mountain. One day she's out with this man hunting and she encounters some people who are looking for Bigfoot, basically. They think something is wrong, and so they actually go to try to help her. And during this ride, again, monsters come after them, and it is such a thrilling ride. I absolutely loved this book. I think it's a great one for winter. Another thriller that I read and absolutely loved was One by One by Ruth Ware. This is more like a isolated cabin murder mystery. There's strangers and somebody is knocking them off one by one. There's a really good chase scene at the end of this that is really great, and I loved it. And then one that I haven't read yet is Dead of Winter by Darcy Coates. All I know, again, is that it deals with an isolated cabin, 8 strangers, and 1 killer, and, you know, it's a murder mystery situation. So, those are the 3 thrillers that I really think are great for wintertime. For my winter rom-com rec, I really only have 2. One being 'Tis the Season for Revenge by Morgan Elizabeth. This one is kind of a Legally Blonde retelling, sort of. A girl gets dumped on Halloween by her lawyer boyfriend, and she wants to get back at him by dating his boss and going to the lawyer boyfriend's company party the next Christmas. Throughout this relationship of using each other, they really start to like each other. And the boss is very delicious. My other favorite Christmas rom-com is Just Like Magic by Sarah Hogle because this is quite unhinged. Like, it's ridiculous in so many different ways. It just completely goes off the deep end at some point, and I absolutely love it. It's Elf on crack, as I like to say. It's just so funny, and you have a girl who just wants to impress her family. Her family is kind of reclusive and weird, and they're really rich, so nothing impresses them. But she's really poor, and so one day she just gets really drunk and then spills her wine on her record player and plays Mariah Carey's Christmas song backwards and summons the holiday spirit. Hal is so sweet and he's so sugary. He's exactly like Elf in my mind in this movie. Ryan Reynolds would be Hal and Aubrey Plaza would be the main character, which I think her name is Beatrice. This book is insane and I absolutely love it. Now moving into fantasy romance. I have so many of them. Slaying the Frost King is one I really want to read. This is part of a series of mortal enemies to monster lovers. Each one of these is enemies to lovers, and then obviously one of them's a monster. Another one I really want to check out is a Nutcracker retelling by Rebecca F. Kenny. This one just seems kind of interesting. Court of Winter by Krista Street. This is also a fantasy romance set in a wintry landscape, dealing with enemies to lovers. Alara is abducted by the hated crown prince. She's faced with an impossible choice: enslavement to her nemesis or war for the kingdom. Yeah, say less. The next one is On Silver Winds. This seemed like it had something to do with the Snow Queen, since it says she's the daughter of the Snow Queen and she must uphold the sparkling reputation of her kingdom until she earns the right to campaign for the throne. This one is lower on the spice scale, so it might be something you want to check out. Ice and Embers is a Snow Queen retelling. Of course, I've got this in there because I'm one of the co-hosts of the Once Upon a Readathon, and we are the Snow Queens. Daphne and I are, so I had to put this on here. It takes more than passion and pixie dust to thaw a frozen heart. I mean, now I'm just wanting to watch the Disney movie over and over again. I have one that's an erotic horror. It's called Melt for Us, and it's by Molly Doyle. This is the author that wrote Scream for Us, which has the 3 masked men for Halloween. So I really think that the next one, Melt for Us, will be just as good. Again, it's something about a cabin in the woods, and what is it about a cabin in the woods? I don't know. It's scary, but also Christmassy. And then we have some weird stuff. We have a lot of weird stuff, including some monster stuff. The first one I have to mention is Mr. Jingle by Layla Faye. I'm pretty sure chocolate chip cookies come out of his, you know what, gotta read it. Plowed. This is an ML Eliza book that I really need to read because she also brought us some big blue aliens or something like that, and I really liked that story. Also, she wrote another book that I really loved this year, No Getting Over You, and that was also good. So I'm ready for Plowed, okay? Also Elfed. Don't know anything about this other than this cover. And then some monster romance. There's an anthology coming out right at the end of December called Snow, Lights, and Monster Nights. There's lots of wintry, spicy monsters in this. Another one is Snowed In with a Demon. This promises fast burn, cozy vibes, and an adorable cat, okay? Again, say less. Then I have a couple Yetis that I really found interesting. One being Spooning My Chichenya. Again, I don't really need a synopsis for this, come on. And then Slippery When Yeti is one that I am absolutely reading. And then the last 3 are all in this series that is going on. It's been ongoing for a long time, but they all have very wintry monsters in it. 2 of them are by Layla Faye again. Wed to the Ice Giant and Wed to Jack Frost. That one is coming in a little over a week. And then also Wed to Krampus. What is it about Krampus these days? There are so many Krampus novellas out there. I always found Krampus a little creepy. But I guess it could be hot. Anyways, those are all my winter recommendations. I like to read a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, historical romance is not on that list this year. I don't know why, but I'm just not in the mood. But anyways, everything else is. Thank you for joining me. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!